What's up, guys? Hitmanblood here with TGN.TV, and today's video we're going to be going over the patch 4.2 PTR notes to get you guys ready for what's going on with the hunter changes. And this is my badass PTR hunter. First off, let's talk about the multi-shot change. Currently on patch 4.2, multi-shot was nerfed a little bit. It was doing an insane amount of damage on live servers in patch 4.1. Now they nerfed it a little bit. It still does adequate damage. Previously it did 137% weapon damage. Now on the PTR it does 120% weapon damage. So let's fire off a couple of these shots. As you see in tier 12, it's hitting for moderate, about 4k non-crits. 13k was the max we got there, so a slight nerf, not too big. Also, there wasn't many hunter changes, so we're gonna try to go over them all in detail. So what's been going on back in 4.1 was previously, before 4.1, multi-shot was pretty weak. I can't really remember the exact numbers, but I believe it was like 80% weapon damage or 50% weapon damage. It was really pitiful. I mean, it couldn't do any damage multi-shot. I mean, in 4.1 they buffed it considerably, almost doubling, essentially tripling the damage multi-shot did. And in turn, it made it so hunters did way too much DPS, way too much AoE DPS, and survival hunters with their serpent spread talent, if I could find that, right there it is, we're doing so much AoE damage, and you weren't finding much survival hunters. And also the bombardment talent, which reduces the focus cost of your multi-shot when you crit by 50%, so you're essentially getting off 2 multi-shots per the cost of 1 after your first one. And also during Bestial Wrath you basically had 10 seconds of multi-shot spam. So this was making it so hunters were doing way too much AoE damage, and in turn they had to bring it down a little bit. Next, I want to go over the traps. Traps now scale with stats such as hit, spell penetration, attack power, and everything like that. Like traps like Immolation Trap, even though it's scaling with attack power, it's still not doing that much damage. Is pretty pitiful. I mean, as you see, it's ticking for 1,300, and that's when it's critting. That's pretty pitiful. That equates to maybe 10,000 damage if we're lucky, if that. And explosive, you're still not going to be replacing explosive or even using immolation trap, period, because most bosses are immune. And second of all, if you're doing AoE, you're going to want to be firing off an explosive trap. So that's going to be your first choice to use. And also in the patch notes, it mentions expertise. I don't know if they're going to be making expertise work off of our hit chance, because pets get expertise from the hunter's hit chance. So if you're hit capped, your pet's going to be expertise capped. So essentially, as long as you're spell pen capped and hit capped in PvP, your traps should not be resisting. You shouldn't be getting those resists anymore. My only concern is people that are not hit capped. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but you're probably gonna start seeing your traps getting dodged and stuff at lower levels, and when you first hit 85, which is gonna be a pain, but we'll see. Also, I don't know what Blizzard is planning on doing, because if you go over here and we go into our snake trap and we bring it over here and we go up to this little mini training dummy, you pop a little trap right here, and bam, you see our traps the snakes only have 123 health. I mean, that's like 1 AoE and bam, they're done. I mean, literally, they all have 123 health. I mean, give them like 10,000 health each. That will make sure the trap lasts for the full 15 seconds. I mean, there's a cliff of snake trap, if I can find it, which reduces the AoE damage they take by 90%. I mean, still, if you're hitting 10k damage in AoE to all of them, let's say you did 10k damage to all of them, reduced by 90%, that's still 1,000 damage they are taking. That's still 10 times greater than their HP max HP amount. That's only if you're hitting them for 10k each, you know. So you can essentially hit them for 1,000 minimum, and then anything above 1,000 damage will pretty much kill these snakes, even with the glyph. So I don't know what Blizzard has planned to do with that. Maybe they'll help us out on a future patch. But until then, traps like Snake Trap are pretty much useless. Immolation Trap hits like a wet noodle, useless. Explosive Trap only good for PvE. PvP, it does not have any use. Warrior will teach you. I'm a huntard. I do not need a warrior to teach me. Explosive Trap, basically AoE situations only in PvE. If you use Explosive Trap in PvP, you are going to ruin CC. I've seen a lot of hunters in videos and such place an Explosive Trap and just ruin it for their teammates just because they have, you know, they ruin their own CC and they ruin their teammates' CC because they get CC right over their Explosive Trap and they're taking dot damage and bam, you know, CC breaks. Ice Trap has limited use in PvP also. I mean, Ice Trap used to be a great... Ice Trap, don't get me wrong, Ice Trap is still a great battleground trap. Limited use for PvE. But you're really rarely going to be using Ice Trap in arenas. Because if you fire off a Ice Trap, as you see, your Freezing Trap goes on cooldown. That is ridiculous, you know? I believe they should delink him just because of the melee DPS teams that are pillar humping. They hide around the pillars, you know. Ice Trap is one of our ways to keep them constantly slowed. You can't really fire off a concussive if they're line of sighting you pretty much the whole time. By the time you get around the pillar, concussive shot is over. So you can't really waste the Ice Trap. And then when you really need to CC, your Freezing Trap is off cooldown. The thing with hunters nowadays is we have to use essentially 2 CCs just to get 1 CC off. So we have to fire off a scatter shot, use Trap Launcher, then manually find where the person is, and then place a trap. That equates to so much time lost. I mean, if there was a part, I'll probably put the quote up right here, where Blizzard said that hunters, or the way they want traps to be cool. Okay, I'd rather have a working CC than have a trap be so-called cool. You know, it's like having, you know, making an old car sound loud, but it's a crappy car, you know. I'd rather have a new car that has a great engine and it runs well, you know. But other than that, I don't know what they're going to be doing traps. Hopefully they will fix it for a future patch. But 4.2, you're pretty much still screwed. Hopefully the freezing traps will never miss again in the competitive arena. Next off, we're going to be talking about the careful aim talent that you can get in the marksman tree. What this does is it increases the critical strike chance of your aim shot, cobra shot, and steady shot by 60% on targets above 90% health. Previously, this used to be 80% health. So this is essentially nerfing it extremely, just because now you're gonna have so much less time that you're gonna be critting on the targets. I guess it's more for scaling reasons, as hunters are using way more better gear. And as you see, this aim shot should crit. There we go, 35k right there. Chimera shot, it's not on there. There we go, steady shot. You know, it helps. It helps, I guess, keep hunters in turn with other classes, because, you know, our gear levels are increasing. The only specs that are right now that are a little bit balanced with the gear levels are marksman and beast mastery. They're pretty much scaling well. Survival abilities like explosive shot, which doesn't scale off of range damage, scales horribly with gear, horribly. And I don't know what they're going to be doing survival, as survival, I believe next patch will fall a little behind beast mastery even, and marksmanship, of course, as marksman is still going to be the top spec by far in patch 4.2. Alrighty, next off we're going to talk about Black Arrow. What they did was, I believe in patch 4.1, they nerfed Black Arrow damage by, I don't remember what it was, 30% or something like that. I have no idea why they did that. They also nerfed it with explosive shot. This could be in patch 4.0.6. I don't remember exactly. But Black Arrow, I have no idea why they nerfed it. Back then it was hitting for crap, and nowadays it's still hitting for crap. I mean, even with the 40% damage increase or the 50% damage increase, it's still hitting for crap, you know. It's not doing as much damage as it should be, especially in PvP. This thing gets dispelled so fast, you know, you don't even look twice. A lot of hunters have suggested that if Black Arrow is dispelled, that it should automatically proc lock and load, or give it a dispel immunity, because if you're PvPing a survival, you're not going to be taking Black Arrow at all. I mean, literally, Black Arrow is a no-no. If that's just a wasted talent point if you're doing any survival PvP. Breaks your CCs, does pitiful damage, so there's really no point in taking it. Also, coming in patch 4.2, there's 10 more exotic beasts or new rare beasts are coming for hunters to tame in this new patch. This is insane, but the thing is, some of these pets are pretty much either reskins or just the same pet recolored multiple times. I'm gonna go over this real quick. We have one pet called Ankh-Kal. I'm sorry if I pronounce these wrong. These are pretty weird names. But this is essentially a reskin of Gandria, or yeah, that pet in, I believe it was Zul'Jurek. Yep, Gandria. So that's just a reskin of the Spectral Cat that you can get basically Wrath. Another pet is Antka. Antka is a yellowish brown or grayish Black Widow pet you can get from the Magma Springs and Hyjal. This is one of the, I believe, 4 spiders that you can get. I don't know. This pet does seem cool, but the thing is, they're just reskins. That's all they are. So the next pet is going to be Bakali. What Bakali is a spectral owl, if you want to call it. I think that's one of the cooler pets. This is going to be sweet. I believe it's called Banthalos, actually. So this is a sweet pet, and yeah, I can't wait to get it. So this is going to be one of the pets I actually go for. Here we got Drethalas, or Drethalak. Sorry with the names, I can't pronounce them. But this is also another one of the spiders. This is a purplish white with a gray base body. This is another elite spider. So hopefully you hunters will be going out for that. Okay, here is probably one of my favorites out of all of them. The Karkin. This thing is freaking sweet. It's like a metal crab. And I'm not sure if this is a tenacity pet or if this is for beast masteries. I have to check that out. But still, either way, awesome pet. I wish it's a ferocity pet. We'll have to see. Here we got Kirlix, or Killix, or however you want to pronounce it. This is a greenish Black Widow pet that you can also get from the Furnace in Mount Hyjal. Great pet. These spiders are probably going to be farmed by everybody. I believe it's like a 16-hour farm window or spawn rate. So, yeah, so hopefully you guys can get lucky with that. Next, we have another Spectral Cat. This one is called Magkra, or something like that. And this pet is just another Spectral Cat reskin. Nothing special. A little bluer. Still love my Gandria from Zul'Jurek. Here we got Skarkal. This thing is sweet. This one is actually called Scar. My apologies, but it's a really cool metal cat. It is epic. And next we have the red Black Widow. It's called Skitterflame. This thing is probably one of the coolest of the 4 spider skins, and I love it. We also have Solix. This is a orangish spider skin. It is pretty sweet. And here you get a map of all the spawns for the rare pets that you can get from Hyjal. And yeah, also, if I can correct myself with those names, they are Solix, Antherus, Magria, Ankaha, Banthalos, Skitterflame, Deathtalak, Crix, Scar, and Karkin. Scar and Karkin, they share a timer. Magura and Ankaha, they also share spawn timers. So if you kill one of those, you probably could save your time and not look for the rest. And yeah, so those are the new pets, the new 10 pets that are coming out with patch 4.2. Alright, last but not least, we have Intervene. If you have a Tenacity pet, what Intervene used to do in patch 4.1 and previously throughout WoW was it used to have your pet run at high speed, come, intercept, and attack. It doesn't matter if it would hit you for a million, a billion, whatever it would do. Your pet would take the hit, it would die if it actually hit that hard, and it would spare you the damage. So also it was useful against rogues because you could have a rogue open up on you. You could have your pet intervene you, and you could bam, your pet can take the kidney shot for you. That was sweet. I believe the reason why they're nerfing it is because people are having pets intervene tanks to absorb big damage spikes that are about to happen. You know, if a boss was about to hit the tank for like 100,000 damage, they would have the pet just absorb it, take the hit, die, and you know, save the tank and healers so much mana, so much HP. Now what it does is it only does 50% of the pet's total health. So let's say this my cat Nyan cat has 91k. 50% of the health. What is that? 44k, 45k. That basically your pet will only be absorbing 45k damage with that. I don't believe Intervene can absorb kidney shots anymore, so that was a pretty big nerf for PvP and PvP. So, you know, that's why I don't like when Blizzard nerfs PvE stuff or nerfs PvP stuff, and in turn they hurt each other. Another, you know, I believe this was tuned for the new players and the people that were complaining, like rogues and or just people that the huntards they'll leave their pets on aggressive and they would pull the whole instance. I don't think that's going to be happening anymore. What they introduced in patch 4.2, not just for hunters, for all classes that have pets, elementals or treants, mage elementals, all that stuff, all the good stuff, warlock pets, they gave them assist. They removed aggressive. In my opinion, I believe they should have kept aggressive. They should have merged assist, that new assist, with defensive. Aggressive was so useful in a PvP situation to, you know, essentially get a rogue out of stealth. Rogues, even with track hidden, with the recent nerfs to it, with aggressive, your pet has faster reflexes than what you can do. Your pet will go, and if you had charge on autocast or something like that, or whatever you had, your pet would go and it would get the rogue out of stealth. This was so useful. Basically, we're screwed. We can't use that anymore. What assist now does is, let's say I put my pet on assist, and I start shooting this raiding dummy, and then I start attacking this little training dummy. My pet will automatically start attacking whatever I start attacking, basically a couple seconds after. I believe this is tuned more towards the people that, I mean, you know, that need it, I guess. I don't like it personally. I think it's horrible. I mean, essentially it's good if they would have merged it and they would have kept aggressive. What they did with defensive now is, if your pet's on defensive and you are attacking something, it won't attack anymore. As you see, I'm shooting these dummies, I'm casting abilities, and my pet's just standing there. What defensive now does is your pet only attacks targets that attack you or attack it. So basically, your pet's just a guard dog or guard cat, whatever you have. This basically destroys defensive, and you're either gonna have to have your pet on assist if you want it to attack, or you're going to have to keep it on passive and manually have attack macroed something. I personally already have that going on, so it might not affect me as much. But this is gonna confuse a lot of people. They're gonna leave their pets on defensive, and it's not gonna be attacking anything. I mean, sometimes I don't want to, you know, keep it on assist. And let's say I'm training a warrior, but I want to keep my pet on the healer so he doesn't go, get out of combat and start healing or something, you know. So you're gonna have to keep your pet on passive and manually, cast pet attack. So this is a slight nerf for PvP. It's I don't know. Give it, take it, like it or hate it. That's how it goes. Like I said, guys, not many changes for hunters in this patch. I'm gonna do a quick rundown over the tier 12. I think it looks freaking sweet. I look like the guy from what's that movie? I forget. But I think his name is Leatherface. That's his name. But I look like the guy from that movie. This is freaking sweet. I got an eye patch. I don't know how that helps my depth perception or whatever, but it seems we have an eye patch on most things, PvP gear, whatever. Tier 12 bonus. I think the 2 set is pretty cool. Your steady and cobra shot have a 10% chance to trigger a flaming arrow, dealing 80% instant weapon damage. So that's a free 2400 damage, modified by attack power and crit and all that. And as fire damage, so it's not gonna be mitigated by armor or anything. It's not like you're gonna be PvPing and PvE gear anyway. What I do not like about your Flame Marker's headguard is you have a 10% chance from your auto shots to make your next shot or kill command cost no focus. This is pretty sweet, as you could essentially get off a aim shot, no cost, no focus. The thing is, what if I'm not paying attention as much to my buffs and I'm spamming an arcane shot or a chimera shot? Bam, wasted it on those. I mean, it's technically not wasting it, as you're still not using the focus for them, but you're gonna have to look at your Karthus Hunter timers or buff timers or whatever you're using nowadays a lot more closely to monitor this buffs. Stat wise, I believe this is pretty sweet. There's yellow gems and red gems. Some of them are red gems with like a 20% agility bonus. I think that's freaking sweet. This bow, or this crossbow, doesn't look half bad. So overall, tier 12 content for hunters, a huge plus. I don't know about the other classes. I think Tally went more in depth on that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, or if I left something out, please ask it in the comments below. I will be answering not all, but most questions on my Hitmanblood Hunter account. You can check me out on my link. It should be right there above my character. And you can also check me out on Facebook, and I'm probably going to be live streaming on Justin.tv soon. So I hope this was informal for you guys. Please give me some thumbs up. Anyways, enough babbling on from Hitman. This is Hitmanblood with TGN.tv. Till next time.